Alright, so moments after I just posted my video of whether or not to wait for taking the pass-fail version of step 1, I got a bunch of emails about people asking personal questions regarding, whether or not the pass-fail version of the test would be the better version of the test for them. And then I also got a bunch of questions regarding the USMLE courses that I offer. People wanting to know the discrete details and stuff like that, which is perfectly fair to ask, of course. Now, once again, do not wait for the pass-fail version of step 1. There's no reason to do that. To sum up that previous video, you should definitely check it out. It was like a 10-minute summary of multiple reasons for not waiting for the pass-fail version of step 1. But to sum it up, just remember there are two types of people: people that want it to be a pass-fail test and people that don't. The people that don't want it to be a pass-fail test are people that have scores that are way above 240 and they're happy to show it and they're proud of it. And then the people that do want it to be pass-fail, people that are hesitant about how well they're going to score and most likely will hit something below 220, which happens, right? You got to be proud of whatever you got to work forward with that. But point is, you shouldn't be hesitant when you're sitting down for your step, and that's where, if you're signing up for my course or interested in signing up for the course, this is the video I'll probably link people to when they ask me for details. So how it works is both my step 1 course and my step 2 CK course are 3-month courses. You can sign up and get access to videos that I've made in the past, products that I've annotated, like my annotated first aid, and have access to me in my Discord server throughout the 3-month course. Now, even after the 3-month course, the videos you get access to, you retain access. That you get to keep. But during that 3-month period, I'll be available to you to, let's say, hop into one of these study rooms in Discord and just have a quick chat about something that may not make sense to you, or look over a couple questions that you did that maybe you got wrong and you didn't quite understand how you fell for the traps or stuff like that. So as you can see right here, this is the full server. This is my server right now. There's 23 people that are online, 600 people total, right? The ones that have this red name like that, those are people that I upgraded to VIP because they're part of the VIP step 1 or step 2 course. There's a couple of them throughout the list, right? These are all people that are actually part of the courses, either step 1 or step 2. And once I upgrade you, you can see the VIP CK room or the VIP step 1 room and join in. We meet up every morning around 10 a.m. So for the step 2 people, we meet Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday right now, 10 a.m. Eastern. And for the step 1 people, we meet Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And we talk about various topics from first aid, very similar to how my original videos used to be, and break down everything and tackle practice questions, talk about how things are going to present on the step. And oftentimes for both courses, I like to do concurrent studying, where basically I'll refer to things from the other book for that book. So like for step 1 students, I oftentimes refer to things in the CK first aid because it wasn't told in step 1 first aid, right? There's a lot of little things like that that they kind of decided not to talk about for whatever reason in one book, but they talked about it in the other. And it helps. It really, really helps. A couple students are signed up for both courses at the same time, which is at a discounted price. So if you're interested in doing that, you just shoot me an email and I'll give you a different sign-up link. Sign-up links are going to be at the bottom in the description for both courses. But let's say you're signing up for the step 1 course. So what happens is every month of the 3 months, you're going to get access to 1/3 of all the videos you would need. So if you come back to first aid, basically you would get everything from biochem to cardiovascular in that first month. And you'd be vigorously studying those topics, meeting up with me whenever you need to, right? Whenever my availability and your availability makes it permissible. And through those videos where I really adequately break down everything about biochem metabolism, immunology, the micro stuff, and how to memorize it all, how it's going to present in different populations, how to know which person's diarrhea, which bug caused the specific diarrhea in this person and which bug caused the specific pneumonia in the other person. These are things that were definitely very complicated and intimidating in the beginning of step prep, and you cannot have that confusion when you're studying, when you're actually sitting down for your test. The second month you get another 1/3 of topics, and then the last month you get the remainder of topics. You also get a bunch of NBME explanations from me, and you get the annotated first aid, which I use in my videos to help study on your own, read this material, and then look at any memorization mnemonics I might have typed in, or any extra information, anything else that I might have added in, and then the practice questions I've annotated into the book itself, so that right after you read a topic, when you look at the annotated questions right after that, it helps you understand how that topic is going to present in your step one. It also shows you some differentials you need to worry about. And I employ this thing I made up called shock studying, where throughout videos, oftentimes what I'll do is maybe today we're supposed to be talking about cardiovascular, and then I'll jump all the way to heme and talk about something about some type of anemia, you know. And it's the little things like that that really stick to you. Shock studying is a wonderful method where maybe because we were doing an anemia related cardiovascular question, then now I'm going to shift quick gears to talk about something very specific in anemia, discuss it with you, maybe polycythemia related or iron deficiency anemia, and then come back to where we were with cardiovascular. Those kinds of routines will just really amplify how much you retain. In the step 2 course, it's a similar thing. So when you sign up, you get 1/3 of all the videos on your first month and so on. You also get the annotated first aid, which helps you see how to differentiate between one answer choice over the other. In step 2, most questions are going to give you a very similar scenario to step 1 with patients, and then they'll ask you what's the next best step. And the next best step answer choices are usually all things you can actually do, but only one of them is the best step. You know, you might get a patient with a brain tumor, and it's possible that you can do a CT or an MRI. Both might be feasible answer choices, but maybe MRI with gadolinium contrast is something that's contraindicated in the patient in that question because of renal failure or something, and that would be something you would have to catch, right? To not order an MRI, but instead order a CT. All kinds of little technicalities like that make CK questions extremely difficult. And if your step 1 mastery was lacking, then your step 2 is going to be even harder, which was another reason I said to not wait for the pass-fail test, because if you wait for the pass-fail, then you're not really that worried when you're taking your step 1, and you're not going to study as rigorously because you're not aiming for a 260 anymore. What's the point? A 260 and a 220 are both going to be a pass. So you're just going to aim for that 220. Maybe you'll aim a little higher, and then you'll not really study as rigorously, and you're going to forget some things when you're preparing for step 2. All your step 1 knowledge is necessary for step 2. You can get any of that stuff on your step 2 exam as well. So you need to master it, you need to get it down perfectly, and you need to retain it in such a way that you can talk about it without the book in front of you. So in my videos, as many of you who have seen my original first aid playlist, you would recall that I actually go in depth with topics, but I don't spend too much time on topics, and I make sure that it's summarized enough so you can kill your step, but it's not going to be so summarized that it's wasting so much time you're falling asleep. You know, I keep it as entertaining as possible with occasional jokes and stuff, but overall those videos are what were actually the basis of many of the students that took step 1, many of my subscribers that took their step 1 in 2019. Those videos were what got them through, helped them break that 240, and really prepared them for what they need to. The course right now is at $400 a month, and I wanted to show you that compared to what else is around right now, that price is more than feasible. So right now we're looking at KAPLAN. If you wanted to sign up for a step 1 course with KAPLAN, it's just straight up $2,000. $2,000. If you click on view details, you get to see that this is a course where you're basically going to be sitting in a room with a bunch of people, and no one's going to hear you. You could type all you want, but no one's going to hear you. You can't really talk or anything. You can actually check out what these lectures look like. There are videos of it by KAPLAN themselves where they try to show you what's happening in them. And you get the whole KAPLAN lecture notes series and a bunch of other things. But if you've never looked at the KAPLAN lecture notes books, then you saved yourself a lot of time. Those books are so empty. It's such a business scheme, because the KAPLAN lecture notes books actually are missing a lot of things. So the way you're supposed to use the KAPLAN lecture notes is with the lecture, the videos. The videos add on things to the notes. So the notes are missing things that you wouldn't get if you're not watching the videos. So if you only buy the 7 volumes of the 2020 lecture notes, you could, but you'd be missing out on a lot of knowledge that wouldn't be in the book because they only talk about it in the video, you know, and maybe put a little note about it in the book itself. The practice questions from KAPLAN, I have never really been a big fan of. I felt like they were significantly harder in a difficult and weird way that didn't really mimic actual step questions very much. And this has been a concept that has been shared by many of the people I've asked, like, oh, what did you think about KAPLAN Q-Banks, if you've done KAPLAN Q-Banks? And not many people are a fan of it. It's very rare to find anyone who did a KAPLAN Q-Bank and actually did well, and then they do UWORLD or AMBOSS Q-Banks and they do well because they actually are ready. It's just that KAPLAN tends to make extremely twisted questions that are wicked for no reason. So I don't even really like their Q banks much either, but hey, to each their own. And all in all, yeah, you got some top tier people teaching you. I can't take anything away from them, but it's not really what you would want, you know. In fact, the $1,200 for the 4-month program gets very few people excited. You know, it's rare to see someone that'll come up to you and be like, every dollar I put into Kaplan was worth it for me. That is the reason I passed. I've never heard someone say that, and it might be, you know, I'm sure there are people out there that feel that way, but I've never actually heard someone say that. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's not a thing. If you look at other places like this one, Gold USMLE Review, once again, $1,600 for an 8-week program. You know, these prices again are pretty outrageous and not really backed by anything, because at least I have lectures out there and I'm still making new videos where you can see my method of teaching, my passion for teaching and stuff I do, and the hard work I put into my own annotated version of First Aid that I'm working towards publishing as a book of my own eventually, that will amplify your studying so much that you're gonna wish you started earlier, you know. Another one we have here, a lot of students that I get often tell me they signed up for the PASS program, and a live online program. Ridiculous how expensive it is. Look at that. It's almost, it ranges from $2,200 to $5,500. Again, I have yet to meet someone who actually came from the PASS program and told me they were glad they joined and that it really helped them. A lot of these courses are actually designed to be ridiculously hard and then try to make you feel like you worked hard and whatnot. But again, they don't really achieve what you need for real step 1 preparation. There's also this one here, Smash USMLE. You might have seen some of this guy's Instagram ads if you've been swiping around. This here, I forgot what Dr. Adesina, right? Dr. Adesina, I believe he's Nigerian. I'm not 100% sure. But he's actually in New York. He's someone that I might eventually look forward to joining up with. His prices are not ridiculous. Yeah, so he has a 3-month program for $697, 6-month, and then lifetime program. And he has his own things that he does, and he's wonderful. He is good. I've never really watched too many of his videos, but again, another option that's there. If you are leaning towards signing up with him, then that's something that you can work for too as well. He's actually located in New York, so at some point I might actually contact him and see if there's something that we can work out as a business plan. But this is actually a pretty cool dude. And again, like, you can see how real prices are supposed to look like, not the things that Kaplan tries to rip off of people. And it's something that is beyond understanding in terms of how much a person can really afford just for education purposes. You know, in this room, by the way, the Discord server, there's a link to join that in my description as well. The link tends to get expired, so I'll make sure I'll check it's up to date. But if you join the Discord server, another thing you can see here is if you expand these principal studies, and then you expand this bottom one, the focus studies, all the chapters are here. The ones that are lit up usually have people in here that are discussing things. You know, the people in here that are asking questions. As you can see, there are people that are talking about things in various chapters, right? And people are sharing questions that they want to get help on. Very much like a Reddit forum kind of thing. And oftentimes what happens is, if I'm around, if I happen to be just hanging out and I see like a question that I might know an answer to, then I try to, you know, chime in, let the person know what's up, try to explain things, and just help out as much as possible. You know, here we had Hydra asking a question, so I helped out. You know, stuff like that. That happens. And then there's also study rooms. These are audio and video study rooms where you can join in with anyone you want to and just review things, study. You know, you can use it as a meeting center for yourself. And I also will be hosting study sessions in some of these study rooms, just open sessions, so that if anyone's around, they can join in and talk about things. You know, those will be announced sessions. I look forward to getting started next month. It's a new thing I'll be doing where I'll be announcing it on my YouTube channel, something that I'm going to talk about in one of these rooms. People can come join the rooms, and then you could talk to me about whatever you want to. And since it's a privatized center, there isn't really much of an issue with the taboo word of copyright. So that's something that I can work on with you guys over there. And, you know, that's something that I wanted to make sure I introduced to you all. So if you have any questions whatsoever about signing up for the Step 1 program, the Step 2 program, or the mixed program, which gives you optimal understanding of everything in the best way possible and kind of doubles your Step 2 studying, feel free to shoot me an email. We could get you set up, and then we can go on from right there, right? So happy studying, keep working hard, guys, and I'll see you all later.